It's the book of Alpharonomy, nigga. Read it or weep.
As a man, you have to think about the things that you really want in a relationship. If you're going to be in a relationship, think about the things that you want. Don't compromise those things. So most men should have never been in a relationship anyway, because they compromised who they were to be in the relationship that they were in. You don't need to be considered in a relationship until you meet a woman that coincides with the way you want to live your life. So if you want to have another woman, or if you want to have two women live with you, the only way to pull that off is probably going to be to have a woman who's bisexual. And if you have that, then of course you want her to be comfortable with the situation. So you want her to have input on who is picked, who is the woman that's going to be the concubine in the scenario. I'm telling you, brothers, I've seen this work. I know this works. This is what you need to do if that's the lifestyle you want to live. You cannot compromise the things that you must have. You simply can't do it. You're not going to live a very joyous life if you compromise the things that you must have. There are some things that you could do without. You can either have or not have, but there are some things that you view as things that you must have. And you cannot compromise those things. No woman has enough value to cause you to compromise those things. Some of the things that are on this list are also things that you can do to keep from being clueless. The same things that makes a woman suppress who she is and not want to expose it to you are the same reason that she'll lie to you. Listen, lying is not just saying something that's untrue. Lying is also withholding true information. So if she's withholding who she is and suppressing who she is because she doesn't know what your response is going to be, then she's lying to you about other things as well. But I'm telling you, if you do the things on this list, I'm not saying it's going to make them be 100% honest all of the time. No one is. You're not going to find one who's 100% honest all of the time. But when it comes to the important things, the things that actually move the needle one way or the other, you can get her to, you can improve the likelihood of her being honest about these things by doing the things that we're going to cover on this list. So let's get on into this, man. There are men who are lied to all of the time. Like from the beginning, a woman knows to lie to these men, but it's not because she just wants to be a liar. I'm telling you, man, they are taught to lie because of the response that they've gotten from men throughout their lives. The response that their mother got from men caused their mother to tell them, never tell a man this, because their mothers, as they have always been exposed to beta male simp manginus. The beta male simp manginal is simply a man who is guided by emotions. The more emotional you are as a man, the more beta you are, the more beta activity you will find yourself indulging in. The more you withdraw from that emotional guidance, from allowing your emotions to be the driving force behind your decision making, you will find that your results, not only with women, but in every facet of life, will begin to improve, and you will feel more alpha because your results will become more alpha. This is simply about the man who is guided by emotion versus the man who is guided by logic, reason, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. The number one thing on this list of how to stop women from lying to you is when you meet a woman, stop telling them your expectations and desires for what you want in a woman. If you tell a woman that you want a woman who hadn't done this or hadn't done this or hadn't been here, and she's done all of those things, she's going to start off lying to you, especially if she views you as a quality man, as a man who is worth being with, a man who is worth being around, a man who is worth the effort and energy that it takes to be in your presence. See, you have to wrap your mind around the concept that you can't go into every meeting with every woman acting like you're looking for a woman. You shouldn't be looking for a woman. If she comes along, she comes along, but you shouldn't be looking for her. The only reason you would tell her your expectations of what you want in a woman, and what, man, listen how feminine that sounds. A woman will ask you, what are you looking for in a woman? She's asking you that so she can see if those things apply to her, and if they don't apply to her, she's going to see how many things she should withhold or how many things she should, add to her character trait list? I never answered that question. When they ask me, what are you looking for in a woman? I say, I'm not looking for a woman at all. I'm just living my life. And if she happens to come along, then I'll know it. Simply put, I don't give any information about what I'm looking for because I don't want her to try to be what I'm looking for. I don't want her to try to, transmogrify herself into who I expect the woman to be. I don't share any of those things at all. I simply correct her along the way about shit she's doing that she's been caught up with beta male vaginas. I do let her know. This is the first thing I tell a woman. I tell her from the beginning. I tell her that anything you think you know about men, forget it all. Because you don't know nothing about men, about relationships, about female-male interaction. You don't know nothing. So when you're going into a situation and you're talking about, what you want and, what you need in a woman and all that, man, what you mean what you need in a woman? What you need? Do you understand what the word need means, man? You don't need nothing in a woman. So that's the number one thing you do. You don't give her a reason to tell you lies from the beginning because for one thing, you don't care what her characteristics are. You simply don't because you're not expecting her to be your woman. You shouldn't even be looking at her like a possibility, like a prospect for being your woman. Kill all that noise, man. When you meet a woman initially, all you're looking for is something to poke on, man. That's all you're looking for. And you have to be honest about that with yourself. See, I don't want any woman that I meet to be viewing me as potentially her man. I don't want her to view me that way. And so what I do is I make sure that I don't give her any inclinations that I view her as a possibility of being my woman. Because once you get those wheels to turning, before you know it, you're already talking about, man, do you ever plan on being married? Let me tell you 5 questions I never answer. I never answer, what do you want in a woman? What are you looking for in a woman? I never answer, how many sexual partners have you been with? I don't ask it. I don't answer it. I never answer, do you plan on getting married? I never answer that. I never answer, do you like kids or I don't never answer that. Now, I don't answer that. And the 5th question that I don't answer is, do you go to church? I don't answer none of those questions because technically speaking, if I just met you, those questions they have nothing to do with you. I just met you. You shouldn't be asking me questions about me. You should be trying to tell me about yourself so I can see if me sitting here in front of you right now, if me converting your soft choose into a hard choose is even worth my time. So you got about 5 minutes. In the first 5 minutes of the conversation, you better say something to me, man, that's going to be endearing to me, or we're going to have a slight problem. So I don't answer those questions because I don't want to start talking about a relationship in the first conversation, in the second conversation, in the third conversation, in the 15th conversation. I don't want to have no relationship conversations. So if you eliminate that, she has no reason to lie to you. She has no reason. She shouldn't even be feeling like she's selling herself to you. So here's another thing. Don't be so damn judgmental. Being judgmental is derived from you being too caught up in your emotions. You don't care anything about her past. You don't care about that. You ain't looking for no woman, man. Stop trying to gauge women to see if they wifey type or something. When you first meet a woman, man, you don't know her well enough to even be thinking along those lines. So whatever she tells you about her past or what she's going through, stop, man, don't be judgmental. Because I'm telling you, the very moment a woman feel like you're going to be judgmental, man, she going to tell you lies. She's going to tell you lies because nobody wants to be judged on their past. The same way you don't want to be judged on yours. No one wants to be judged on their past. And what it does, it makes you seem like you're already too attached to who she is and who she was. And that's a turnoff for anyone. I don't want a woman to feel like I'm attached to her like that. And I damn sure don't want to feel like she's attached to me like that. So this should have been number one. If I was putting this on the list, this probably would have been number one. Stop being so damn judgmental. What are you judging the woman for? I mean, what are you gauging her for? What are you grading her on? What is all this stuff, man? I don't understand none of that. But if you want a woman to tell you lies, judge her on something she tells you. That's all you got to do. Then you can expect to be lied to consistently, constantly. You can expect that. This is one of the first things I learned. I learned this young. I learned this probably at 17 years old because I had this chick. Matter of fact, yeah, I was 17. I had this chick. I used to go break her back, man, and she had a little reputation, but I didn't really care. So I never judged her on that. You know what I'm saying? I never called her anything. I never talked about it. I never referenced anything that I heard or anything that I knew. I never referenced any of that. And I was the only person that she knew that didn't do that. You understand what I'm saying? So that endeared her to me. That endeared me to her. And so she shared all types of things with me, man. I found out, man, the reason why she was the way she was, things that happened to her when she was younger. I learned a lot of things, man, simply because I didn't judge her. Hey, who am I to judge her, man? I don't care enough to judge her. See what I'm saying? I don't care enough about, because whatever she's been, whatever she's done, it has nothing to do with me, because she's not my woman. See what I'm saying? Now, if you got a wife, okay, yeah. Whatever she is or whatever she does represents you. That's your wife. She represents you when she's out there. If she's not your wife, she's not your woman, why do you even care enough about whatever the hell she's saying she's done or whatever anybody else says she's done? It does not matter. So I learned a long time ago not to pay. And see, while these cat were talking about, man, a cat might say, man, so a couple of cats found out, man, I was knocking her down, man. All they had was negative things to say about it, man. Just negative things to say about it, man. And you know what I did, man? I ain't saying that. I'm saying I was just chilling, because while you trying to hit her up to see if you can come over there, she hit me up, man, telling my man she cooked and I can come eat. You know what I'm saying? Just because I didn't judge her, she was young. We were young, but she was trying to do whatever she thought wifely responsibilities would be. She was trying to show me that she was more than that. And I learned that from that experience. So whatever woman that I've ever known, whatever any other man got from her, I always got twice as much, at least from her. Twice as much effort, twice as much energy, because I make women feel comfortable. If you want a woman to be honest with you, man, you got to make her feel comfortable. This is what this list is about. And there are some men who are going to say, well, I don't care about it being honest. Hey, man, if you're a type of dude that's saying, man, you ain't going to never be with no woman in your life, man, then get out of this, man. This ain't for you. You see the title? That means that you're going to continue to deal with women. If you ain't going to deal with women, man, get your ass on out of here. This one ain't for you. Come back tomorrow. So when you think about these things, man, I'm not finna sit and tell you, man, listen, bro, do you hear the results that I'm telling you I get from women? Why am I going to say, man, I'm not going to deal with women? You know what I'm saying? I get top-notch interaction from women, man. They do things for me that they never done for nobody else. All you have to do is invoke the proper response from a woman, man. It ain't hard to do. Why these boys out here doing all this chasing and all this whining and all this dining and all this catering and all this caking and all this faking and all these things that they doing? Women respond to emotional stimulation more than anything else. The only reason you're doing all that stuff is because you don't know how to attack women emotionally. And when I say attack, I don't mean attack as into harm. I mean attack as into control. You don't know how to control women emotionally, so you try to control them with money, or you try to control them with game, or you try to control them with other things. Man, there ain't no possible way in the world you can control a woman, man, unless you're going to be violent. You're going to be on some gorilla pimping, which only lasts so long, because eventually she probably going to either leave you or kill you. Or you're going to control her by tapping into her emotional space, man, and turning into a puppeteer, putting strings on all her emotions and manipulating them however you want to. And what I am telling you is that's all you have to do in order to make a woman feel comfortable enough with you, safe enough with you, to not tell you lies, man. This is top-notch information I'm giving you. Ain't nobody else on this platform going to give you this, because they don't know it. They deal with women from a different perspective, or they don't deal with women at all. Nobody on this platform has had the consistent results throughout their life that I've had with women, brother. I'm telling you that for sure. I ain't bragging or nothing, but I listen to thousands of hours of content on here, man, tens of thousands of hours over the years, and nobody's ever had the approach that I have, because they just haven't lived the life. You can't read about this. You can't learn this. You got to live this, bro. So, number one, stop telling them your expectations and desires for what you want in a woman, because that will cause them to try to be those things and eliminate information and add information. Number two, don't be so damn judgmental, because that will make her not share anything with you, because nobody wants to be judged. The same way you don't, she doesn't want to be judged. Number three, let's get to number three. Get out of your feelings and stay out. You see, nothing she says about her past should make you mad, sad, glad, happy, miserable, angry, hurt. Nothing she says about her life should make you feel anything. And if it does, it's because you're too in tune with your emotions, man. In other words, you're a beta male simp mangina. Leave your emotions where they belong, somewhere hidden off in a chest with a combination on it that only you know. And you ain't gonna share it. Stay out of your feelings. When a woman is sharing things with you, man, when she's sharing information with you that she doesn't really share, she's gauging you to see what your response is going to be. Because believe me, if she tells you something negative, whatever negative response you're going to give her, she's gotten that response before on multiple occasions. And that's why she does not share this information. So why have her comfortable enough to share the information with you, and then you ridicule her and do the things that other people have done in their emotional headspace and cause her to shut down on you, but she ain't gonna tell you nothing. And once she realizes that she can't tell you this, she's not gonna tell you that, and she's not gonna tell you that. And if you keep pressing the issue, she's just gonna tell you what you want to hear. Listen to what I'm telling you, brothers. You have to control her emotions. And when I say control her emotions, I don't mean force her to do anything. I mean the way you stimulate her emotionally is gonna get a certain response. Whatever the stimulation is, every woman is gonna respond the same. Emotionally, women are all wired the same. No matter what level of emotional damage they've been through, emotional turmoil they've been through, all you have to do is be real. Because anytime a woman goes through any emotional turmoil, any emotional stress, when it comes to dealing with a man in a relationship, it's because the man was not real. Women have never been hurt by honesty. Women have never been hurt by you being a man, being in control of the situation, giving her the option to be in the situation your way or no way. So what I am saying is, starting out from the beginning, a woman is likely to be honest with you. A woman is not just going to enter a situation and say, I'm just going to tell all lies. No, I'm telling you what it is, brother. Your reaction to the things she tells you, she's going to give you tidbits of information. She's not going to get deep from the beginning, but those tidbits of information, she's slowly going to work up to telling you more pertinent information, more private information, more personal information, until she gets to the point where she's telling you secrets. You see, women tell me their secrets. If a woman would share a secret with you, let me tell you something that a woman ain't going to lie about. She ain't going to tell you she did the worst thing ever or had the worst experience ever in her life and be lying about it. Nobody does that. You know what I'm saying? That is not something that people want to be out there. So what I'm saying is, if you're in a situation where she's being honest with you, just let her be honest. You stop her from being honest with your responses. Number 4, this is a big one. Stop trying to sell your value to her with all your boastful talk about what you have and, what you're going to accomplish and what you've accomplished and where you're from and, what school you went to and, how much money you made and where you live and all that. Stop trying to sell yourself, because when you sell yourself, if your value is high enough, then she will try to sell herself in order to have higher value, to be more commensurate with your value, even if she's not. And what I'm saying is, how does that bode well for you? How does it bode well for you for a woman to oversell herself in order to seek your approval because she quantifies you as a high value man? And then you realize that you ain't got what you thought you had. She ain't what she said she was. But you want to allow her to be honest about who she is because you tune your own horn. That's why I say, man, when you're talking to a woman, man, especially in the early stages, man, shut up. Shut your mouth and flap your ears, man. Let her talk. She's gonna talk. Believe me, she's gonna talk. Brothers sell themselves because they sell themselves just to get the woman. I'm not a commodity, man. I'm not something that's on a shelf somewhere. It's my damn store. Why am I selling myself in my store? Don't make no sense, man. So do not sell yourself. Stop trying to sell your value to her by putting everything about you on the table. Man, why are you sharing your personal information with her? You don't even know her like that. There are certain things that a woman shouldn't know about you after the first conversation. She shouldn't know much about you. You should know way more about her than she knows about you after the first conversation. You know what I'm saying? Why is this woman know? Man, the woman know your parents' name, man. Know where you grew up at. Know what hospital you were born in. Know if you've been to prison. Know if you ain't been to prison. Know what high school you went to. Know what year you graduated. Know what your degree in. Know if you dropped out in college. Know if you've been to the military. Know if you got shot before. Know if you shot somebody else before. That's crazy, bro. Shut your mouth and open your ears and let the woman talk to you. This is tough to do when you cold approach a woman. When you cold approach her, then you have to entertain her. So you're the one doing all the talking. And like I told you the other day, man, I don't carry conversations. If I'm talking to a woman and I'm carrying the conversation, I'm finna get off. I'm finna stop talking to her. If we in person, then I'm finna, I'm just finna let her know, man, that this is starting to bore me a little bit. And we need to either think of something else to do, or we can end this right here. If I'm on the phone with her, then if I'm carrying the conversation for 2 minutes, I'm gonna end the call. 2 minutes don't seem like a long time, but it's a long time when you're just sitting there talking to somebody listening. I ain't gonna do it. Anytime there's any lapses, if I'm not talking and there are lapses in the vocal connection when I'm not talking, I'm finna end the conversation. I don't entertain women. They're here for my entertainment, not vice versa. So, number 5. This is the only time you talk. This is the only time I talk during these initial conversations. Number 5, make her feel the way she needs to feel in order to keep trusting you with her truth. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, if she's saying something, and I may have covered this slightly, maybe just yesterday. If she says something that has negative connotations, then you can tell that she's felt bad about it and people made her feel bad about it. Or let's say she says something like she used to be overweight and now she's not. And her self-esteem was real low when she was younger, blah, blah, blah. And people used to talk about her. That's your opportunity to jump in. You don't have to pacify her. You don't have to validate her, but simply say something to the effect of, well, I mean, those people, they probably couldn't have bounced back the way you did. They probably wouldn't have had the dedication, the focus on self-improvement to lose all the weight like you did and keep it off. So you look at those people and say, you show me something that you worked as hard as I did. And they probably can't show you anything. So that's how you look at those people and from on your pedestal now, because you've done something they probably never could do. Bam. Now she's looking at me like I'm damn near the knight in shining armor, and she's more comfortable. She feels like, yeah, even though she wasn't thinking that, in her mind, she's like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I have done something they haven't done. So I'm making her feel better about herself, not by validating her, by giving her some true information about what she's done, by giving her insight, by educating her, by giving her guidance, wisdom, understanding, knowledge. That's the only gift I got for a woman. Wisdom, understanding, knowledge, guidance. That's it. Ain't nothing else. Anything else that any other man can give her will never trump the wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and guidance that I give her. I stand on that principle right there. So when it comes to keeping her honest, all you have to do, man, is remember that emotional manipulation is the key to having a woman do whatever you want her to do, man. It's that simple. You could be a millionaire and you can give her $100,000 and she'll take it. She'll probably even appreciate it. But I guarantee you that $100,000 won't get you the type of control that I get if I manipulate her emotionally. I guarantee you. If I tap into her emotions, there's no amount of money you can give her that's going to warrant the type of control I have, because the difference is money you can do stuff with. Emotional stimulation is something that it gives her an out-of-body experience. It takes away all of the turmoil and all of the stress that she's had, not because I'm validating her by giving her money or buying her gifts or telling her how beautiful she is, but because I'm manipulating her emotions in a way to make her view everything from a different perspective. Now, it works both ways. If she's on her high horse and she feels like she's all that, you could also use that emotional manipulation, man, to bring her down off her high horse and make her view things, in a slightly more humble manner as well. So when I say, man, that my experience with women are amazing, it's because I found this out when I was in my teens. Man, I've been working on this since I was in my teens. By the time I was 25, man, I was light years ahead of my time. Like, I didn't have no problems with women. Even as a young man, I don't have problems with women, man. I just don't understand the concept, because I found out The very same thing that I'm sharing with you men right now. So make her feel the way she needs to feel. Listen, this is one of my favorite things to tell a woman. Even when she's saying something that, when I'm telling her something, if she feels like she knows something more or whatever, on the rare occasion that this happens, I simply tell her, whatever you need to tell yourself in order to feel the way you need to feel right now is perfectly okay with me. And I don't tell her that like to be a smartass. I tell her that because that's the way I feel. I'm going to tell her whatever I need to tell her to make her feel however I need to feel her I need her to feel right now. So I understand that concept because that's the way I interact with her. Now she don't know this when I'm telling her that. She laughing. She think it's a joke. She think I'm just trying to make her funny. No, I'm not. I'm telling her that it's okay for her to do that. I'm letting her know what she's doing because I understand it. It works. If I can do it to her, she can do it to herself. And I'm cool with that. For all the people who just got in, man, number one, was stop telling them your expectations and desires for what you want in a woman. All that's going to do is give them something that they can try to transform into, whether truthfully or untruthfully, most times untruthfully. Number two, don't be so damn judgmental. Nobody wants to be judged about their past. Same way you don't, she doesn't. You judge her, she going to start withholding information from you. And you don't care enough to judge her anyway. Number three, get out of your feelings and stay out. Nothing she says should move you anyway emotionally. So she shouldn't have to worry about an overly emotional response from you that makes her withdraw and makes her feel like she can't safely share information with you. Number four, stop trying to sell your value to her with boastful, bragging about who you are and what you've been and where you're from and what you've done. None of that even matters. Matter of fact, that stuff you shouldn't even show. No, you shouldn't even share in the beginning. Never let a woman know who you are, what you're made of from the beginning. Just give her the man that's in front of her right there. And what that will do, that will also make her try to sell herself higher to, prove that she's closer to your level than she really is. You don't need that. That's a foundation of lies. Now, number five was make her feel the way she needs to feel in order to keep trusting you with her truth. All that means is simply give her different insight. Give her more positive insight on the things that she views negatively. Period. Just those five things are enough in most situations to keep women from lying to you. But of course, you know me, BoA, I've got more. Number six, never throw what she told you back in her face as an attack. Mainly because you don't care enough about her past to throw it up in her face and you don't have any emotional attachment to it. See, when you do that, that is evidence that it invoked an emotion in you because you use it as a weapon, which means you viewed it as a negative and it made you feel some kind of way. Anytime you view something from someone's past in that type of way where you use it as a weapon against them later on, it invokes some type of emotional response in you. It made you feel mad. It made you feel sad. It made you feel terrible. It made you feel frustrated. It made you feel disgusted. It made you feel something. And it shouldn't make you feel anything. Secondly, because it's feminine as fuck. And your masculine energy is what she's comfortable with. A lot of men don't put women in comfortable spaces just by their presence. They have to try to do things to make her comfortable. They have to try to wine and dine her. They have to try to be doing shit like holding doors open and pulling out chairs and putting their jacket down over a puddle of water and doing all these types of things and trying to show the woman that she can be comfortable around them. So they do things that they think make women comfortable when the only thing that makes a woman truly comfortable is your masculine energy. Masculine energy, or shall I say alpha energy, automatically makes a woman feel comfortable, makes her feel safe, makes her feel like she can trust you because masculine energy can be trusted by feminine energy. That's the only thing feminine energy trusts. So never throw what she told you back in her face. Like, well, remember you told me? That's how that sound. You sound like a chick, man. Like you sound like a female. Well, at least I ain't do you like such and such did. Come on, man. You sound like do you hear how you sound, bro? You can't be sounding like that, man. You sound like a chick. And if you sound like a chick, you might as well hang it up, bro. You should not be honest with a man that's expressing feminine energy because she knows that feminine energy is messy. Feminine energy is talkative. Feminine energy is intentionally disrespectful just to get a rise out of you. She knows that. She is a woman. She's been dealing with women her whole life. She knows that. So at the very moment that you start to become one of them or start to behave like one of them, she's going to start to pull back information because she doesn't want to share information with a messy chick like you're being. Stay in your masculine energy, man, and you won't have no issues with women, man. They can't give you no issue when you in your masculine space, man. I'm talking about 100% of your masculine state all the time, man. It ain't hard to do. So the thing is, man, most times when you throw this up in her face, well, all the time you throw it up in her face, y'all gonna be having a disagreement. And let me tell you one thing I never do, man. I don't raise my voice at women, and I don't let them raise their voice at me. And they're gonna get checked about that 100% of the time. And it's only gonna take one checking, because I'm gonna check them. And let me tell you something about checking women. I don't check women in a forceful manner where I'm all rared up and I'm all fired up and I'm talking to them all tough and all crazy and I'm going in and going out. I don't do all that, man. I sit her down and chastise her like a child. I sit and explain to her how idiotic it is for her to even believe that she can be confrontational with me, because if it did turn into a physical confrontation, there wouldn't be any confrontation. So don't do things that normally turn into physical confrontations. It's not going to turn to a physical confrontation with me, but why do something that you know could possibly turn into a physical confrontation when you know that's going to be, you're not going to be able to sustain that? It makes no sense. You have to think. And, and I had a chick tell me once, man, that, well, sometimes you don't know how to respond verbally. I said, what you mean you don't know how to respond verbally? You're not a child. We're adults. You know how to respond verbally to anything. It's not like we're going to be talking about rocket science. We're going to be talking about basic life. What do you mean? You may not know how to respond verbally. No, you may choose not to respond verbally. And I'm not going for that. You understand? I chastise women. I treat them like, I question their intelligence. When they do something that's unintellectual, I question their level of intelligence. Right there, I make them question their own level of intelligence. See what I'm saying? I reprimand women like I would reprimand a child, by pointing out the error of their ways and making them understand. Don't you see you're too old for this? That's how I do my son, man. When my son does something, man, that he's too mature to do, I say, son, what are you doing? How old are you? How many children do you see doing this your age? Okay, well, that tells you a lot. That's what I do, man. You know what I'm saying? And it works for me, so it'll work for you. You know what I'm saying? This ain't no game that I'm giving you. This ain't nothing I'm telling you that might not work for you. These are the facts of life. We're talking about emotional energy here. We're talking about emotional stimulation. That's what we're talking about, man. This is tried and true, man. This is proven. This is science, homie. Number 7, stop acting so needy for affection. It's a weak position, and that's the main problem that beta males have with women. That's why beta males get flaked on. That's why women get ghosted on. That's why all of these things happen. Because they present themselves as too needy. And the thing is, needy has nothing to do with being available. You know what I'm saying? If a woman hits you up, man, and you're available, that has nothing to do with being needy. Needy is trying to fill in your time with her presence, trying to pull her into a space in your time frame. That means that you set aside a specific time frame for her. Don't you think that validates her? That's where all the validations come. That's why all the validations, we always say that, well, she's got options. Yeah, she's got options because men keep giving her options. Let me tell you something. Just because she's got options, the best thing you can do is make yourself not be that type of option for her. You see, I truly believe that, from the onset, if she has options like that, then you make sure that she doesn't even view you as that type of option. You have to. Because once she can group you in with every other dude, you already lost, homie. And you just another dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't play that game. You know what I'm saying? She can't group me in, because from the initial conversation, the things I say are going to blow her wig back. And it's not going to be something like I chased her and cold approached her, because I don't cold approach. You know what I'm saying? I ain't doing it. And you hear cats saying, well, sometimes, man, you got to go out there and get what you want. Man, let me tell you something. Nigga, that's when you're talking about money. When you're talking about goals, when you're talking about dreams, ambitions, when you're talking about closing major deals, when you're talking about, building up your business, that's when you go out there and get what you want. I don't equate, man, getting women to getting money. You crazy? Craziest thing I ever heard, man. So stop acting needy for affection, man, because it's a weak position and she'll view you as weak. And like I said earlier, she want to feel safe enough to tell you, maybe her deepest, darkest secrets. And the only way she's going to feel safe in that if she doesn't feel any weak or feminine energy, because women only trust masculine energy, bro. I'm telling you. They'll deal with any kind of man, but they only trust masculine energy. And this is, this would be in the top 3 if I was putting these in order. Number 9, tell her from the beginning that you expect her honesty in return for your own. Make sure she knows it's a pet peeve. She has to know how you feel about honesty. That way, you're well within your rights to drop her if she's dishonest, to ice her if she's dishonest, to put on the back burner if she's dishonest. You have to let her know that honesty is a big thing for you. And that not only do you expect honesty from her, but you're going to be honest as well. You feel like your honesty should be reciprocated. That's it. If you're going to tell her anything about you from the beginning, any expectation, it's the expectation for honesty. That's the only one. No more expectations. And that in itself, a lot of times, will just start her off on the right foot. Most men don't even tell women that. Most men don't go into situations with women with any demands. They go in with the ability, with the intent to meet her demands. The majority of men don't go in a situation with demands. I put my demands on the table from the beginning. I have demands. These demands must be met, or we're not going to have any more conversations. And it's not that means anything to her, that's going to ruin her life. I don't care what it does to her life. I'm talking about what it does for my life. I'm going to stick to my guns on certain things. And honesty is one of those things. Keep it 100 with me. I'd rather you just not tell me some shit than just tell me a lie. But the goal is to not only have her tell you these things, but be truthful about them. So put her on ice the first time she lies intentionally. You have to be willing to use the ice. The only men who don't want to use the ice are men who feeling like they're going to lose out. And what can you lose out on that you ain't got? How can you lose something that you ain't got, man? If it ain't yours, you can't lose it. Makes no sense to me. I've never heard so many men talk about things they could lose without even owning them. I never heard such foolishness, man. So I truly believe that you must keep it 100, man, from the beginning about what you want. And if you don't get that, you have to be willing to make sure there are consequences and repercussions. And you may look at it and say, well, man, that ain't gonna work. She's just gonna not talk to you. No, brother. Don't look at it from that simple perspective. That's a simple-minded outlook. What you have to understand is women respond to things that are new, and they respond to things that are challenging. That's going to be something new to her. Trust me, brother. The majority of women you meet have not been with a man who is going to check them from the beginning, who is going to show her that her value is not higher than his principles. So if I say you're going to be honest with me and you tell me a lie and I put you on ice, if you talk to me again, you're going to wonder what happened. That's the opportunity to tell her. You see, once she lies, if you put it on tape from the beginning, once she does it, you don't have to check her again. I only check a woman once about something. I'm not going to continue to check her about the same thing over and over. That's how I own my son. I check him about something. If he does it again, man, then it's going to get physical. And I'm not going to get physical with her, but I'm going to put on ice. You have to do it, man. You have to have the strength, the intestinal fortitude, the guts to put on ice, knowing that there's a possibility that once you put on ice, you'll never talk to her again. She might not like being put on ice, but I don't care. She's going to be put on there. Because I'm not putting her on ice to show her a lesson for the future. I'm putting her on ice because she did this thing. And there's a list of things that deserve that if she does them, she can put on ice. I ain't got to think about it. I ain't got no feelings about it. I ain't got to think about nothing. These things, if they're done, ice. Period. So do that. Put her on ice the first time she lies intentionally.
Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this real shit. And as always, alphas up, betas down. Peace.